Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be the second video in our series. I'm your friend Franco, and I hope you're doing great today. In the last video, we talked about sequence and how they're formed. If you haven't watched it yet, I recommend checking it out to get the full understanding of what we're building here. Before we dive into today's content, I just want to mention that if you have any doubts, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. My handle is at Franco2_D54. I'm always happy to help you out with any questions or feedback, so don't hesitate to drop me a message there. Alright, let's talk about what we'll cover in this video. As I mentioned in the previous video, today I'm going to prove how this sequence works using a fake tweet. Now, I know that might sound a bit odd, but the goal is to give you a clear, step-by-step idea of how you can apply this sequence to your chart analysis. Once you understand this concept, you'll be able to use this sequence in your own trading strategy and see how it can provide you with an edge. So, let's get started. As you can see on the screen, these are the time intervals provided by our fake trader for the period between April 29th and May 3rd. He already predicted the time intervals where the interbank price delivery algorithm performs specific actions. Simply put, this algorithm shifts gears. It might change from expansion to reversal or from expansion to retracement. This phases concept is the most important part of the entire sequence strategy. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend you go back and watch the ICT 2016 Month 1 Element to Trade Setup video. That video is fundamental because it lays the foundation for understanding how the market delivers price. In that video, you'll learn about how the algorithm controls these price movements, and it'll really help you understand the deeper mechanics behind sequences and how they relate to market phases. Once you understand this, you'll be able to identify these shifts in the algorithm, whether it's expanding, retracing, or reversing, and use this knowledge to sharpen your trading strategies. Understanding price delivery and how the algorithm moves through different phases is key to unlocking the potential of sequence trading. This knowledge will guide you when you're analyzing charts, especially when you're trying to predict turning points or continuations in the market. Now, let's dive deeper into the sequence for this specific time period and how it was predicted. Stay tuned as we break down each interval and relate it back to the chart to show how these market phases interact with the price action. Now, let's focus on the time interval for April 29th that was provided by our fake trader, which is marked here on the screen. The important thing we discussed in the previous video is the sequence 323, 212, 323. And we need to multiply each number by 90 minutes. This is the key understanding from the previous video. Just focus here. From now on, whenever I say 321, it means that it's multiplied by 90 minutes. For example, if I say 3, it means 4 hours and 30 minutes. If I say 1, it means 90 minutes. And if I say 2, it means 3 hours. So, as you can see, these time intervals are already given on your screen. Now I'm going to do a simple thing. I'll just go back 4 hours and 30 minutes, which corresponds to 3 in the sequence, and I'll mark a vertical line right there. Next, I'll go 3 hours back, which is the number 2 in the sequence, and again, I'll mark a vertical line at that point. Then, I'll again mark 4 hours and 30 minutes, which is another 3 in the sequence. Now don't be confused if it shows 2 days and 4 hours 30 minutes because it's Friday. Just ignore that for now. What's important is to focus on the 4 hours and 30 minutes. To make things clear, I'll use dotted lines to indicate intervals provided by fake trader. So whenever you see dotted vertical lines in the future, it means these times are given by the fake trader. Make sure to check the time scale on chart. Now we've completed the 323 part of the sequence, which is the left side. Next, we have to mark the middle part, which is 212. So, I'll mark it just like before, using the same logic. At this point, you might have a lot of questions like, why like this? Why not do it differently? But don't worry, you'll understand everything by the end of this process. Now the only part left is the right side of the sequence, which is 323. Once we mark this, our entire sequence will be completed, and one full cycle will be in place. Now, let me show you the original time intervals given by the fake trader, using the same dotted lines. For now, I just used the time intervals for April 29th, which are 2:30 a.m., 7 a.m., and 10 a.m. Using only these 3 times, I've plotted the entire remaining sequence, and we've completed one part of it. Now the big question, is this sequence correct? If it's correct, it should match with the remaining time intervals for the upcoming days, right? If the sequence aligns with the future intervals, then we know it's accurate. Think about it for a moment. Now, move to the next part. Please look at the time intervals given by Fake for April 30th and May 1st. Look carefully, I will use the same sequence to find those intervals. If I don't get them, it's wrong. If I get them right, then it's 100% accurate. Here are the intervals for April 30th, 2:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m., and 10 a.m. As you know, these are given by Fake itself. I'll mark these on the chart. Now that we've finished one cycle of the sequence, we'll start a new sequence and follow the same process. I'll plot 4 hours 30 minutes, then 3 hours, just as before. After marking these, you'll clearly see how they align with Fake's time intervals. That's the beauty of the sequence. It works perfectly when applied correctly. Next, let's look at the intervals for May 1st. I'll mark them with dotted lines, then plot the sequence. Afterward, you'll understand why this method is the right way. So far, we've seen it for April 29th, April 30th, and May 1st. Now it's your turn. Test this sequence on 2nd and May 3rd. The cycle ended on May 1st at 5:30 a.m. From that point, start plotting the sequence and find the remaining time intervals Fake tried to hide. You'll reveal those hidden intervals easily. As I said, I've proven that given sequence is correct. You will see that the EPTA changes phases during these intervals. Now, ask yourself, can you apply this directly to a chart? Do you know the opening time and price levels? This sequence is just the foundation for deeper understanding. In the upcoming videos, you'll see how all this comes together. For now, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned how to plot sequences on the chart. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to message me on Twitter. Your task now is to find the recent opening time and plot the intervals. You'll be amazed by the results. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for the 3rd episode, where we'll dive into price levels. Thanks for watching.